transistor, translated into ones and zeros, ingeniously programmed into readable information, we are able to communicate our thoughts from the fingertips to a computer text in a black mirror, magically teleported to another black mirror and to the other mind we were connecting with. As the years pass, we realize the limitation of television by comparing it to the emerging technology like the internet. The consumer of information cannot talk back to the producer of information. Even if they did, the television will not nod its head. We are a social animal. Our ancestors survived in group. We want to interact. With the advent of the internet and the power to information it gives, everyone was tempted by our predisposition to connect and to express. We now have come to our point where we became both producer and consumer of information in this 2D world. It provides us the ability to share the information we want to communicate. Information, instead of being on shelf waiting to be read or eaten by termites, was now digitized and indexed by search software. It also enabled us to search for information whenever we were hit by our curiosity or when we had a question. Everyone now have more freedom to express. We now had more ocean of information to voyage, and with the big data of information comes a problem of segregation, from facts to opinion, from knowledge to information, and from fake to real, that if not mitigated will lead to misinformation and confusion. It becomes the avenue for the exchange of ideas, education, socialization, and propaganda. The internet has changed how we interact to each other and how we see and present ourselves. Internet was also instrumental in social movements and trends. It is now easier to influence and be influenced. Google, Facebook, WeChat, and other companies had now the data about us from the start we used the internet up to now you watching this video. With the accumulated data they got from you, they can know who you are and they can predict your behavior. They now know you better than your real-world friends. With the power of big data and research, they can now significantly affect the state of mass communication. To concrete object like a bird, whenever you see it in a real world, or in a flat screen, or in a virtual reality, we can easily recognize it as a simple bird. The differences would be, the bird in the real world have more freedom than a bird in the virtual world. To an abstract thing like an idea, it is an opposite to a bird. In the real world, the idea of a person can only be shared with the person he is talking to. But in a virtual one, the idea can be shared with a large number of consumers. With the folly of our kind in our mantra, we always want more. We are still dreaming of better tools to transcend ourselves. The virtual reality is still in its way to become the new trend and provide a more immersive experience than the internet, television, and radio. It widens the visual perspective the consumer can see. Aside from sight and hearing, it involves another sense called balance. If the internet is the 2D world, the virtual reality is the next development, a 3D world. The technology provides an artificial reality. It is still in its infancy. In the future, the visual quality may become similar to a real world, or maybe even more than that. This technology will help us to communicate more intimately to a distant person, but it can also pose a problem, like it will create a confusion between the real world to a virtual world. My prediction is that the human of the future will communicate telepathically. Through some advanced device, they can activate or deactivate the telepathic communication feature. They will have a freedom to select the person that can read their mind. In the level of society, a group of people that agree to communicate telepathically will be called hive minds. The interface of the technology will be like the design from Facebook, that you can add, connect, or create a group of people that you can communicate telepathically. In this story, the antagonist will be either the hackers, the entity who controls technology, or the technology itself.